Alrighty, we ready for this? Our slow flow. We'll start seated. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Long exhale out the mouth. Two more times like that. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And breath out. And then start to come back to your natural breath. Noticing how your breath moves in your body. And starting to move the breath down to the belly. Allowing the inhales to expand the ribs, to expand the belly. And the exhale to bring the ribs and the belly towards the midline of the body. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, contracting. A couple more times like that. Then take a deep inhale. Pause at the top, breathe in a little more. Exhale. Inhale. Pause at the top, breathe in a little more. Exhale. 3 more times like that. Inhale. Pause. A little more. Exhale. Inhale. Pause, breath in again. Long exhale. Last time, inhale. Pause at the top, breathe in a little more. Long exhale. And then start to place your hands over your heart, welcoming in an intention for your practice today. An affirmation. Maybe it's I am worthy. Maybe it's I am enough. Maybe it's I am letting go, or something else altogether. Repeating that to yourself 3 times with 3 breaths. And then bringing our hands together at our heart center, bowing down to our intention, welcoming it into our practice. Then bringing the thumb knuckles to the third eye. We are ready to begin our slow flow, and we'll start laying down on the mat. And go ahead and grab your strap, making sure that you have that with you as you lay down on the mat. And place the soles of the feet on the outside edges of the mat. Drop the knees together. Placing the hands over the belly. And bring a slight tuck in the chin. Feeling length in your spine. Deep breath in. Allowing your body to expand on that inhale. And breath out. Letting the body relax against the earth. A couple more times like that. And then we'll heel toe the feet so that they're underneath the knees. And then start to extend the right leg out towards the front of the mat. Bend the left knee, bringing the left knee in towards the chest. And take some time here to open and close the hip joint. Move the leg from the left side back to center. And then finding an area that feels like it holds a little bit more tension there. Maybe it's closer to the midline of the body, or maybe it's as you open up the leg towards the left. Whichever space feels like it holds a little more tension. Stay there and take a few deep breaths in. Really breathing into the belly. Couple more breaths. And take a long deep inhale. And exhale, start to bring the left knee across the body, placing the left knee on the right side of the mat, teeing out the arms, gazing towards the left. Long deep breaths here. Allowing that left leg to get heavier and heavier with each exhale. And then coming back up. And then placing the right sole of the foot on the mat, bringing the left knee in towards the chest, and then placing the left ankle over the right thigh. Moving into a figure four position. Maybe placing the left hand on the inside of the left thigh. And holding here for a few breaths, really focusing on letting that spine elongate. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to bring that right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers on the back of the right leg. Then we'll start to lower down and extending the left leg towards the front of the mat, right knee comes in towards the chest. Start to rock that right leg side to side, opening up in the hip joint. Taking your time here. And then finding an area that holds a little bit more tension and breathing into that space. Maybe this side is different from the other side. That's okay. And taking long, deep breaths into the belly. Take an inhale. And exhale, start to bring the right leg across the body to the left side of the mat. Teeing out the arms, gazing towards the right. With each exhale, letting that right leg get heavier and heavier. Noticing the breath expand the ribs. And then starting to untwist. Bringing the left sole of the foot onto the mat, right knee in towards the chest. And then placing that right ankle over the left thigh. Maybe taking your right hand and placing the right hand on the inside of that right thigh. And taking a few breaths here, allowing the spine to lengthen. And then maybe starting to bring that left knee closer to the chest, interlacing the hands behind the left thigh. And then we'll start to lower down, bringing both soles of the feet onto the mat, hands onto the earth, ankles stacked underneath the knees. Take an inhale, start to lift into bridge pose. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, stay here. And exhale, lower. Inhale, reach the arms up above the head. Exhale, stay here. Inhale. Exhale, start to bring the knees in towards the nose, lifting the nose towards the knees, fingers reach towards the toes. Deep breath in. Breath out, stay here. Inhale, stay. And exhale, lower. And take a moment just to place your hands on your belly. Moving back to your intention. Repeating your intention to yourself. And then hands move back onto the mat, ankles under the knees. Start to lift the pelvis. Take a breath in. Breath out. One more time, inhale. And exhale, start to lower. Inhale, arms reach over the head. Exhale, stay here. Breath in. Breath out, nose to the knees. Fingers reach towards the feet. Breath in. Breath out. Again, breath in. And breath out, lower down. And start to windshield wipe the legs side to side. And then beginning to rock up to a seat. Lengthen your spine, take an inhale. Exhale, start to circle the head in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then coming up to a neutral spine, starting to extend the right leg towards the front of the mat. Left sole of the foot on the inside of that right leg. Take an inhale, lengthening your spine, roll up on the sit bones. Exhale, start to fold forward. Really breathing into the back body. And then inhale, start to lift the trunk of your body. Place your right sole of the foot on the mat. And maybe start to bring a block behind you. Inhale, lengthen in your spine. Exhale, start to twist towards the right. Maybe the left elbow comes to the outside of that right leg. Reach the right hand towards the block, pushing against the block so that way you find a lot of length in your spine. And let's take 5 breaths here. Maybe taking a breath in, pausing at the top, breathing in a little more, and exhale. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then beginning to untwist. Placing your hands behind you, both soles of the feet on the mat. Inhale, start to lift the pelvis, drop the head back. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, stay here. And exhale, lower back down. Moving back to a seat. Placing the hands on the knees and just closing the eyes. Noticing your body. Noticing your mind. As if you're observing both. As if you're watching any thoughts that are passing through. And as if you're just noticing what the body is feeling, where there might be tension, where there isn't tension. And then starting to extend the left leg, right sole of the foot on the inside of that left leg. Take an inhale, lengthen in your spine, rock up onto your sit bones. Exhale, fold. Think about taking 5 breaths here, breathing into the back body. And then inhale, start to lengthen your spine. Bring the left sole of the foot onto the mat. Block behind you. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, start to twist towards the left, maybe placing the right elbow on the outside of that left leg. And see what it feels like to press the left leg into that right elbow. And think about taking 5 long, deep breaths here. Maybe take a breath in, breathe in a little more, and exhale. And 2 more breaths. And then start to release. And place both soles of the feet on the mat. Hands behind you, fingertips reaching towards the front, lifting the pelvis, dropping the head back. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Then start to lower down. Bringing both soles of the feet together, take an inhale, lengthen in your spine. And exhale, fold. Couple more breaths like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And take a moment to hold here for 3 breaths, really breathing into the backside body, the back ribs, in between the shoulder blades. Moving the breath into the belly. And then inhale, start to lift and release the fingers and start to roll the wrists in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then placing the hands on the mat, crossing the legs, moving to a tabletop position. And then start to pivot on the right knee, bringing the left outside edge of the foot to the mat. Left arm reaches up and over. And start to circle that left arm in one direction. And then in the other. And then find a lot of length here, really reaching the left fingertips towards the front of the mat, pressing into the outside edge of that left foot. Feeling the breath move in your body. One more deep inhale. And exhale, start to lower back down. Inhale, arch the spine. Open up the chest, look up towards the sun. Exhale, round the spine, chin in towards the chest, pressing the earth away. 2 more times like that. Breath in. Breath out. Again, breath in. And breath out. Coming back to a neutral position with the spine, starting to open up the left shin towards the left side of the mat. Placing the right outside edge of the foot on the back of the mat. Right arm reaches up and over that right ear. And start to circle the arm in one direction. And then the other direction. And then take an inhale, really reaching the right fingertips towards the top of the mat, really pressing into the outside edge of that right foot. Breathing deeply, allowing the ribs to expand, opening up the muscles in between the ribs. Then on your next exhale, starting to move back to a tabletop position. Inhale, arch the spine, look up. Exhale, round the spine, push the earth away. And then coming back to a neutral position, tuck the toes, moving into downward facing dog, keeping the knees bent, the spine lengthened. Take a few deep breaths here. Maybe finding time to walk out your dog. And then take an inhale, lift the right sole of the foot up towards the sun. And exhale, start to step that right foot in between the palms. Bending the left knee, bringing the left knee down onto the mat, untucking the left toes, maybe taking the blocks on the highest setting, moving into a low lunge. Inhale. And then exhale, starting to extend the right leg, folding over that right leg. Inhale, bending into low lunge. Exhale, lengthening. Inhale, bending. Exhale, lengthen. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 2 more like that. Breath in. Breath out. 1 more breath in. And breath out. And then start to bend the right knee, placing the blocks closer towards the toes, tucking the left toes, lifting the left knee, and then hopping that left foot about halfway in the center of the mat, allowing your hands to press up on the block. Maybe start to flex that right foot, and then lower back onto the mat. Really pressing into the heel, lifting the toes, lowering back onto the mat. Let's do that 3 more times. 2 more. 1 more. And then either keeping the sole of the foot planted onto the earth or lifting the toes, pressing into the heel. Take an inhale, halfway lift in your spine, and exhale, start to fold. We'll take a few more breaths like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take a few breaths here. Maybe moving back to your intention. One more breath. And then take an inhale, halfway lift. Press into both soles of the feet, lower the foot down onto the mat. And then start to bring the hands onto the waist, really pressing into both soles of the feet. Hold here for a breath in and a breath out. And then inhale, start to lift the trunk of the body and step towards the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sun. And exhale, start to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands plant onto the mat. Start to step back to plank. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, bring the heart towards the earth. Exhale. Pressing into the hands, inhale, lift the chest, keeping the elbows bent. Exhale, lower. 2 more times like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath in. And breath out. And then inhale, start to come up to a tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a moment to hold this downward facing dog. Noticing the difference between the two sides. And then inhale, start to lift the left sole of the foot up towards the sun. Exhale, start to step the left foot in between the hands, dropping the right knee and tucking the right toes. Moving into low lunge. Lengthening your spine, take an inhale. Exhale, start to extend the left leg, folding forward. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. And then walking the blocks back slightly, take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale, fold and hold here for a few breaths. And then start to bend the left knee, moving back into a low lunge. Tucking the right toes, lifting the right knee, and then hopping the right foot to about halfway up the mat. Placing the hands on the blocks, and then starting to press into the left heel, lift the toes. Lower the foot back down onto the earth. Lift, pressing into the heel, and lower. Again, lift, and lower. And then lifting, take an inhale, really breathing into the belly. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale. And exhale, hold here for a few breaths. One more breath. And then start to lower the left sole of the foot down onto the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Place the hands on the waist. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, really pressing into both soles of the feet. Exhale, hold. And then inhale, start to lift. And exhale, step towards the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sun. Exhale, start to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, place the hands onto the mat, stepping back to plank. Dropping the knees, untucking the toes, bending the elbows, heart towards the earth. Inhale, lift the chest, lifting into baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, elbows bent. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting to tabletop position. Tucking the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right sole of the foot reaches up towards the sun. Exhale, starting to move into pigeon pose, placing the right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle behind the left, maybe placing a block underneath the sit bone. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, start to fold forward. Breathing deeply here, maybe using a block to support the head. Maybe facing the palms so that they're reaching up towards the sun. Breathing deeply into the belly. And then take an inhale, lift the trunk of your body, start to rock onto that right hip, opening up the left leg, bringing the right heel towards the midline of the body. Take an inhale, lengthen in your spine. Exhale, start to bring the left forearm onto the inside of the left leg. Reach the right arm up and over. Really rolling that right shoulder blade down the spine to open up the chest. Long, deep inhale. Long, deep exhale. One more breath in. And breath out. And then inhale, start to reach back up. Place the hands at the top of the mat, moving back into tabletop. And then tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Left sole of the foot reaches up towards the sun, inhale. And exhale, start to move into pigeon pose on the other side. Bringing the left knee behind the left wrist. Left ankle behind the right. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold forward. Maybe placing a block underneath the left hip. Give you a little more height. Or underneath the forehead. Opening up the palms so that way they're facing up towards the sun. Moving the breath down the body, into the belly. One more long, deep breath in. And breath out. And then start to lift the trunk of your body. rolling onto the left hip, pivoting onto the right heel, and then bringing the left heel towards the midline of the body. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, start to bring the right forearm onto the inside of the right leg. Left arm reaches up and over towards the right toes. Really think about rolling the left shoulder blade down the spine to open up the chest. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. One more time, breath in. Breath out. And then inhale, start to reach up towards the sun. And exhale, bring the hands back down onto the mat, moving into a tabletop position. Tucking the toes, moving into our last downward facing dog. And take about 3 breaths here. Maybe shaking the head a little, yes and no. And then take an inhale, rise to the tops of the toes, bend the knees. Exhale, start to make your way down to a seat. Taking a block with you and lowering the trunk of the body onto the earth. Pressing into the soles of the feet, lifting the pelvis, placing the block underneath your seat. Moving into a supported bridge. And taking a few long, deep breaths here. Really allowing your body to relax over the block. And maybe even starting to massage the front of your body a little bit. The insides of your hip bones, maybe your belly. Maybe finding a spot that feels like it holds a little bit more tension and breathing into that space. Really feeling your breath move your body. About 3 more breaths. And then start to press into the soles of the feet, lifting the pelvis. And then placing the spine onto the earth, heel toe the feet to about mat width distance apart, dropping the knees together. And then maybe even walking the feet out further, moving on to the inside arches of the feet, bringing the knees together, getting an internal rotation in the hips. Taking long, deep breaths here. And then heel toeing the feet. And bringing the knees in towards the chest. Take an inhale. And exhale, drop the knees over towards the right, teeing out the arms, gazing towards the left. Maybe placing a block in between the knees. Allowing for a little more support. And then taking an inhale, bringing the knees back up to center. Exhale, dropping them over towards the left. Maybe gazing towards the right. Allowing your body to get heavier with each exhale. On the next inhale, bring your knees back to center, removing the block. Option to move straight into Shavasana, or we'll take Happy Baby. Grabbing hold of the ankles or the outside edges of the feet or the big toes. And then take a moment to find any movement that feels good, maybe rocking side to side. Or bending and straightening the legs. And really think about lengthening the spine. And then gently releasing. Bringing your knees back in towards center, taking an inhale here. And exhale, releasing into Shavasana. And we'll do a body scan. And then I'll come around, press the shoulders down, give a gentle massage with essential oil. If you don't want that today, just place a block by your right foot. And bringing awareness to the top of your head, your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, your ears. Notice the cheeks, the jaw, the mouth. Your neck, your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Tops of your arms, your elbows, your low arms, your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. Notice your chest, your ribs, your belly, your pelvis, your spine, your hips, your glutes, tops of your legs, your knees, your low legs, ankles, feet, and toes. And take a deep breath in, allowing your body to expand, to take up space. And a breath out, allowing your body to get heavier against the earth, relaxing into Shavasana. And gently bringing your awareness to your heart. And notice your intention there. And as you breathe, feel your intention get larger and larger. Expanding throughout your whole body. And once you feel ready, starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bringing your knees in towards your chest. And maybe rolling to one side. And then starting to make your way up to a seated position at the top of the mat. Placing your hands over your heart. Taking a few deep breaths in. And an exhale. And moving back to that intention. Focusing on the intention on the exhale. Take a breath in. Pause at the top. Breathe in a little more. And with your intention, exhale. Breath in. Pause, breathe in a little more. Exhale out your intention. One more time like that. Breath in. Pause, breathe in a little more. And exhale. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Bowing down to your heart, to your intention. Thanking yourself for your practice. And reminding yourself, I love myself. Sealing our slow flow today by bringing the thumb knuckles to the third eye. May we see that the light that shines in us shines in all beings, And may we not fear our darkness. Namaste. Thanks for coming.